Hi everyone. In this video, we are going to be doing Cisco Packet Tracer Activity 2.2.4.9 titled Configuring Switch Port Security. To begin, we will need to open the pre-configured packet tracer file, and I'm going to go ahead and have our little table up here on the side, and we're just going to walk through the instructions basically step by step. So the background for this is that we will be configuring and verifying port security on this switch, S1. This allows us to restrict a port's incoming traffic by limiting the MAC addresses that are allowed to send traffic through that port. So basically we are going to register the MAC addresses of PC1 and PC2 to the ports that they're currently connected to on the switch. And by doing that, we will finish that configuration, and then we will connect this rogue laptop to one of the ports that our PCs are on, and we'll see that it's not actually able to do anything on that interface because the MAC address doesn't match what the switch has recorded for the usable MAC address for the computer. So since the MAC address doesn't match what the switch is expecting, the switch basically declines and drops all the packets that the laptop tries to send. Okay, so to begin, part 1 is configuring the port security. So we need to go into the command line for S1. You can telnet in or SSH in through a PC. I'm going to jump straight into the switch's CLI. And to begin, we need to get up into the global exec mode. So let's get there. And so we need to enable port security for the fast Ethernet ports 1 and 2. So we can do them both simultaneously by doing interface range FA or just F01 space -2. So this way we can configure both ports at the same time. We're going to do switch port security. Sorry, that should be switch port -security. There we go. And while we're still in here, the next step is to set the maximum so that only one device can access these Ethernet ports. And the command for that is switch port security maximum 1. The next step, secure the ports so that the MAC address of a device is dynamically learned and added to the running configuration. So this is switch port security MAC address sticky. Let me make that a little bit bigger so you can see that whole command on one line. There we go. The next step is to set the violation so that the fast Ethernet ports 1 and 2 are not disabled when a violation occurs, but packets are dropped from an unknown source. The command for this, switch port security violation restrict. And so that restrict means that any unknown MAC address that's trying to transmit on that port, those packets will just be dropped. And then the next step for this is to disable all of the unused ports. So we can jump directly over to that interface range again, and this is where this will really come in handy, because we're going to do 3 through 24 all at once. Doing those individually would take a lot of time. So we'll do them all at once, and we're just going to tell them to shut down. So let's look at the command one more time. So even if you're already in the range for 1 and 2, you can jump directly to a new range with the command, and then we tell them to shut or shut down. Shut is just the shorthand for it, but the switch will understand what you're saying. And we can see that all these interfaces are now shutting down. So that completes part 1. The next step is to verify port security, and this is part 2 for this activity. And to begin, we are going to ping PC2 from PC1. So from PC1, we go to our desktop and command prompt. And we want to ping PC2, and I have the address over here as 10.10.10.11. And we have replies, which is good. So we can go ahead and close that for now. So part B is to verify port security is enabled and the MAC addresses of PC1 and PC2 were added to the running configuration. So let's hop back into our switch. We're going to go ahead and come out of that range and out of global exec mode. And let's go ahead and do a show run and see what we have here. Let's just go ahead and load it up just a little bit further. So we show interface 1 on Fast Ethernet. We have a MAC address registered. And on interface 2, we have the other MAC address registered. And if we continue going down on this, we'll see that 3 and 4 and 5, all the way through 24, the rest of them are shut down, which is exactly what we want. So the next thing we want to do, we'll go ahead and close out of our CLI. We want to connect this laptop to a port on the S1. So we will select a connection, do a copper straight through from our laptop, and we'll just go ahead and put it on port 3. And we can see that it comes up and our indicator lights are red. So we will go into our switch again, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to enable that port. So we need to go into our configuration, interface F03, and give it the no shut command, which will re-enable the port. And so it comes and tells us that it is back up and online. And so it looks like we're getting some connectivity at least. So let's go ahead and jump into the laptop here. We're going to go to the desktop and command prompt, and we're going to try to ping over to PC1 and PC2. So let's go ahead and get this started. PC1, and we can clearly ping, so PC2, and once again we can still ping across. And that's because we don't have any kind of security set up on Fast Ethernet interface 3 on our switch. But if we, for example, if that port was still shut down and our laptop user couldn't access anything, they might get smart, and instead of connecting to port 3, they would steal the cable from from PC2. So we're going to go ahead and simulate that by connecting our laptop to port 2, which is where PC2 is connected. I'm going to give it a fast forward time to let everything connect and sort itself out there. And then we're going to go back into the laptop and we're going to try to ping PC1 one more time. So we can see that by trying to use the interface 2 that was basically reserved for PC2 on the switch, by registering the MAC address for PC2, the laptop cannot use that port. It can't even ping across that port. So let's go ahead and take a look at the security violations for that port. We'll hop back into our switch CLI. Let's Let's go ahead and get out of the interface and back out to user exec mode. And we'll do show port security on that interface, F02, or FA02 if you prefer. And it shows us that port security is enabled. And we have a maximum MAC address of 1. We have a MAC address already registered. And we have a security violation count of 4. Because this is PC2's MAC address. And so this 4 shows 4 packets coming from our laptop, which we saw here. It sends 4 packets when you try to ping. By default, it will send 4 packets. And we see that our switch registered all 4 of those and automatically dropped them because the MAC address did not match what it had registered for that port. So once we've confirmed that, we will go ahead and give PC2 back his cable. And then we will ping from PC2 back to PC1. And just like that, it's the same port, and we're getting pings back across now. Because the switch recognizes the MAC address for this PC and allows it to send packets across that port. The final question for this packet tracer activity says, why is PC2 able to ping PC1, but the rogue laptop is not? The answer is kind of what we've been talking about throughout the whole video. The switch has recorded PC2's MAC address, and it has security configured and set up that will only allow PC2 to send or receive traffic across that port, because it has registered PC2's MAC address to that port. Since the rogue laptop has a different MAC address than PC2, the switch recognizes that's not the same MAC address, and just drops all traffic for the laptop, even ping requests. So it looks like that answers all of the questions. If you have your completion showing 97 out of 100, that's probably because we re-enabled that interface 3. So if you really want to get that 100% back up, you can come back into your switch CLI and disable port 3 again. And that brought me up to 98, so let's see what else is missing. Oh, the gigabit ports will also need to be shut down. So let's go ahead and do that, just so we can get that 100% completion there. Shut down those gigabit ports, and there's your 100% completion. That wraps it up for this packet tracer activity. So I'm going to end here. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below, and I will see you in my next video.